Get ready to explore one of America's most horrific and mysterious serial predators' horrifying world, presenting the eerie saga of the Golden State Killer, a tale of darkness and terror. Communities throughout California have been paralyzed by dread as a result of his heinous deeds, and detectives are baffled by his evasive demeanor. Welcome to the channel, subscribe and let's dive in. A terrifying figure known as the Golden State Killer terrorized California between 1976 and 1986, turning the state into a nightmare. He committed unforgivable horror, 5 rapes, 12 murders, and 120 home invasions. He became notorious for his horrible deeds. His nefarious presence crept into houses, leaving a path of destroyed lives and frightful uncertainty. He mysteriously disappeared into the shadows after that, confusing officials. But on June 29, 2020, a crucial day, a terrible discovery broke the silence. A weak, low voice rang out in a makeshift courtroom's gloomy environment caused by pandemic measures. The mysterious 74-year-old Joseph James DeAngelo Jr., who is thought to be the Golden State Killer, mumbled only the word, "guilty." His statement shocked everyone in the room, exposing the horrors of a decade-long rampage and shedding light on the terrifying story of a predator who had evaded justice for far too long. 2 years earlier, the appearance of normal around Joseph James DeAngelo was broken by a terrible revelation. His evil crimes showed up in a sleepy Sacramento suburb when DNA evidence definitively connected him to the infamous Golden State Killer investigation. As the evil puzzle pieces came together, a man who had assumed the identity of a terrifying specter was revealed. DeAngelo made a grisly deal in a planned dance with the law. A plea agreement provided a gruesome trade, the Spectre's confession in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. It was negotiated with prosecutors from 6 counties. The secretive past of DeAngelo was revealed. He held a position of authority as a law enforcement officer in the 1970s for 6 uncomfortable years before being abruptly fired for shoplifting. The shocking information raised the disturbing question: did he perpetrate crimes while wearing a uniform designed to keep people safe? As he struggled with the unfathomable betrayal, Sacramento County Sheriff Scott Jones expressed a sad sentiment that someone can commit such heinous crimes and finding out someone in a position of trust could betray that is absolutely unbelievable. 3 long decades after the Golden State Killer's reign of terror began, justice finally caught up with him in a terrifying turn of events. His capture came as a shock to everyone, exposing a cunning plan orchestrated by the authorities that sent chills down their spines. In April 2018, his sinister secrets were revealed. Authorities discovered a DNA trail from a crime scene that occurred in 1978. They set out on a perilous trip through shared DNA profiles using the strength of genealogy websites like Ancestry.com and 23andMe.com, digging into family trees to discover his evil ancestry. When DeAngelo was put under close observation, the hunter became into the hunted. His fate was determined the following day in a frightening confirmation using a discarded DNA speck that was retrieved. DA Sacramento, the solemn words of Anne Marie Schubert echoed, confirming the DNA's damning function. The answer was and always was going to be in the DNA. The anger was shared by Jane Carson Sadler, a survivor who suffered a madman's torture alongside her innocent son. These are just some of the most horrific facts about his crimes. Victims were bound, threatened, and raped. The ghost of the Golden State Killer hung over the FBI's unrelenting hunt for more than 30 years. His nefarious strategy played out in the dead of night, as described on their website. Methodical and horrific, the slayer pried upon windows and doors to invade the privacy of the victims' house as they slept. His prey froze in fright as a vengeful spotlight cast a sinister glow across their faces. His reign of terror grew as he bound both male and female victims and looted their homes, leaving a wake of raped souls and stolen goods. As he took charge, the nightmare got worse as his horrible aim was revealed in a twisted power play. The terrifying aftermath revealed the shattered pieces of innocence. Names were stolen along with money, jewels, and coins, leaving the victims helpless in the face of his nefarious prowess. Haunting phone calls that continued to reverberate in the aftermath as a ghostly reminder of his evil presence added to the horror. He stalked his victims beforehand and tormented them after. The Golden State Killer painstakingly stalked his prey, mirroring the frightening methods of Dennis BTK killer Rader, who used his position as a home security alarm technician to commit terrifying crimes. He watched them closely, waiting for the proper time to pounce, like a tiger evaluating its prey. A terrifying pattern was revealed by forensic analysis. Before the attack, he sneaked into the houses of his victims and studied every detail. He subtly swallowed family images, memorized names, and practiced the upcoming macabre performance. Strategically positioned shoelaces and ropes served as scary instruments of his trade that were concealed under pillows. His terror grew worse and worse. In order to surround his targets in total darkness and vulnerability, he tampered with porch lights, turning them off and painstakingly unlocked windows. Then, with their senses temporarily incapacitated, the victims awoke to a brilliant illumination. His fast and deliberate assault that followed was made possible by his readiness and in-depth understanding of escape routes. However, the nightmare persisted long after the brutality receded. Over the phone, a menacing voice that had been linked to the Golden State Killer mocked and threatened victims. In the confines of their own sanctuaries, survivors continued to be haunted by the horrors of his warped schemes. Nobody really knew what he looked like, till now. The Golden State Killer, a mysterious mystery who terrorized his victims, covered his identity with a terrifying mask, stalking the night like a ghost. He made sure his face remained a cryptic conundrum while carrying a blazing torchlight, rendering his victims defenseless against his depravity. In a tireless effort to bring this elusive predator to justice for the victims of their abuse, law enforcement carefully worked with survivors to identify him. His fearsome FBI profile depicted him as a white male, 60 to 75 years old, standing at around 5'10", with maybe blonde or light brown hair. Whispers of military ties persisted, pointing to an athletic and smart knowledge of guns. A $50,000 reward was offered, a frantic cry for any information that might reveal the evil entity hiding behind the mask. Thank you for watching and follow for more.